the Nerdy Cool Dad podcast. This is episode 30, and we're going strong here. Plenty to talk about today, from Murder Hornets to all lovely weather and the recent gun ban in Canada. So yeah, let's start with the Murderous Hornets. Actually, before I get into such a topic, the weekend was lovely. Had some fantastic weather yesterday, and yeah, had a nice relaxing time. So that's just me. I hope you all had a good time too. Now back to the Hornets. People have seen some reports about this. I did a bit of research, so don't take my word for absolute truth by any means. I would never recommend that. However, my understanding is that these do originate from Asia. There's some that are in Japan and others, I guess, I don't know 100% where in Asia, but we'll find out. I'm sure it's available if you just look it up. But yeah, these things are huge. So the queens get like 2 inches long, so that's like, that big, and their wingspan's about 3 inches wide. These things are pretty bizarre looking, but I mean, they were noticed apparently in the US a few times in November and December, and my understanding was in Wisconsin, and they assume, we'll have to wait because the winter's coming, what can we really do? And you really start to understand a species and how they're adapting when they do come back after the winter. So that's kind of what's going on right now, and we have to act quick. My understanding is it's starting to come in Canada as well. I don't know to what extent, but yeah, we really have to act quickly because this can be horrible for our bee populations. Like one of these hornets can go into a nest and completely decimate it. And when I say a nest, like a hive or whatever, decimate it in like hours. So yeah, we got to worry about that. Now they call them murder hornets. Technically, they could kill you. Not a single one. You'd have to be stung multiple times, but they got like stingers that are like 6 to 10 millimeters in length that fill you full of venom. So yeah, you want to be careful. I think that's an obvious one. If you see one, I would don't take my suggestion. I don't know what to do. I assume you'd probably want to kill it or capture it and let authorities know that, hey, you found it here in this location. That would probably be the smartest thing. I guess it goes with any sort of invasive species sort of code of conduct. So it'd be the same if you're fishing and you caught some weird, bizarre thing that came in from Asia as well, or Europe, or what have you. So we'll have to be careful, but I don't think you have to be overly paranoid or anything like that about it. It is what it is, and yeah, we just gotta, I guess, wait for the necessary people to tell us what to do if we see it, if it becomes a problem. But yes, we do have to act quickly. Other information that I kind of gathered from it was, doing a little Wikipedia research, is they apparently put their nests like underground. So sometimes they'll take like small rodent holes and stuff like that, make that their nest. So yeah, we just gotta be careful where we walk and what we see, and if you see a group of them, which I don't know that, I don't even know how they form colonies or anything like that. But yeah, stay the fuck away from those. Needless to say. But yeah, murder hornets, right? It's just another part of the plague that's starting to take its toll, we'll say, for a lack of better words. Outside of that, yeah, plenty going on in the U.S. still. This is kind of old news, but I'm sure we all saw the clips of Donald Trump trying to blame the Obama and previous administration, well, specifically the Obama administration, for supplying them with faulty tests for the coronavirus. As one of the CNN fake news reporters pointed out, yeah, you can't have tests for a disease that didn't exist. So I don't know, like I don't know. People that believe every word Donald Trump says, I mean, I can understand maybe having a distaste for the other side of the government, like the Democratic government or whatever. That's your choice. But when you believe everything an insane person says, I mean, I don't know what that says about you, but I don't know. And if your justification is, well, the left says this, so we say that, well, maybe you both suck. You ever thought about that? So something to consider, because I think both sides are just horrible at what they do. And I'm hoping for, well, I mean, I have no horse in the race. I'm just the guy looking over the fence, kind of like Wilson and Home Improvement. There's always stuff going on in there. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. Maybe a third party comes in and says, you know, enough of this bullshit left, right. We need someone who actually knows how to run a country properly. So yet to be seen, but I pointed this out before. Like Trump was even bashing previous administrations for leaving the cupboards bare and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not going to get into all the cuts and things he did while being president, or has done. And his stance is, well, he doesn't like to pay for things on a regular basis if he doesn't need them. When the time comes, they'll have the money. So that's kind of what they're dealing with right now. And then they're blaming previous administrations for not stocking the cupboards that they. Anyways, we won't get into that. But I mean, from what I understand, George Bush Jr. was like obsessed with pandemics and things like that. It was well prepared. So they're even bashing previous Republican presidents. So it is what it is. He's going to hold on to anything he can to stay afloat and win this next election. So the world is watching and just hoping that, well, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be better. I mean, Donald Trump is insane. So anything other than him, I think, is better within reason. We'll see. I don't know. There's lots of conspiracy theories going around right now. And one of the most recent ones that I heard was that Joe Biden would be running for president, would win president, and then he'd, like, in a year, not be fit, and he'd have his vice president as Hillary Clinton, and then Hillary Clinton would become president, and this was all like a big thing to get her to be president. I'd say crazier things have happened, which they have. Like, we have a reality TV star sociopath as president, so, I mean, it is what it is. Sorry, you do, whoever's American watching. I don't have... That's the world has to watch, but it is what it is. And again, you know, if my opinion offends you and you have certain views, then so be it. I don't really care. It's just me talking. On a more lighter note, of course, I made some more bagels yesterday for family brunch, and they turned out lovely. This time I made it a little less dry, and I didn't knead it too much when I let the dough rise. And they came out really well. I was very impressed. I made 4 kinds this time. I made plain, I made everything, and I made some cheese bagels and cinnamon raisin again. You're thinking, cheese bagels? John, you hate cheese. But you know what? I like cheese bagels. I'm a weirdo. I hate cheese on most things, but I'll eat it on pizza, and I like it baked on stuff. So if it's cooked, for the most part, I'll probably eat it, as long as it's not like too gooey. But that's just me. And my wife doesn't eat cheese. So, either way, they were good, and I have some more. I just put them in the freezer, so I'll have them another day. Because I have way too many bagels right now. So it is what it is. Just mentioning previously the nice weather we had yesterday. It was like 20 degrees. I got sunburned. I got some glasses tans. But I don't know. The lighting here doesn't show it as much, but yeah, I got some good sun yesterday. It was nice to see. And, you know, with the nice weather comes people wanting to go out and do more. So I definitely saw more cars on the road. I went to a family member's house, you know, to have like a social distance visit. But even still, like, I find I'm becoming less paranoid about things. You know, like if a kid comes near me, I'm like, whoa, normally. But now, it's, I don't know, not that I'm going on my way to touch them or anything or have any physical interaction, but I'm not being as anal as I was before, and I'm sure there's a lot of others in that sort of same situation. I mean, we still got to be careful. We're not through the thick of this yet, but it is what it is. It's human nature. I mean, we've been cooped up for a while, and you know, you want to get out and at least get some fresh air, if anything, have some social interaction. In a safe distance, of course, right? So I think we'll all just still be careful, but I don't think we have to be overly paranoid about it. There's some more businesses opening today, so it's May the 4th. May the 4th be with you, by the way, if you're a Star Wars nerd. Yeah, there's car dealerships are opening back up today, so that'll be a big deal for them. I mean, they were kind of, my understanding is they're operating anyways, so I mean, maybe now they're at like full capacity again, but I don't think people are jumped and buy a car unless it's a necessity for them. So it is what it is. If you want to get into a new car lease or new finance, this is probably the time to do it in the next few months. The way car dealerships typically work is they have their monthly quotas and their yearly quotas, and they got to hit those or else they lose out on certain co-op dollars they get from the head office. Now, I'm sure there's going to be some amendments or adjustments to how these systems play. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But they're very aggressive in making sure that they get those sales, they get those numbers. So if you're looking at maybe getting into something a little bit earlier than you thought you might want to, now's a perfect time to do it. So gas is cheap too. So you can get that luxury huge Yukon you wanted, the gas guzzler that you never thought you'd be able to afford. Now you can, right? So. You probably shouldn't still. To each their own. Those things are beasts. So it is what it is. Last thing I want to discuss today was, as we've probably seen over the weekend and people are debating on social media, I guess the Liberals banning all automatic weapons and basically anything that even resembles an automatic rifle. So it's got a lot of people pissed off that are gun aficionados, or there's just two things to think about. People I know that are really into guns, they saw this coming a while ago and probably got rid of their stock or sold it. It's people that, I thought about getting one of these so that I could murder a herd of sheep or deer. I'm exaggerating. For me, it means nothing. I don't think military-style weapons, even though I know it's not even close to what you could get in Canada, should be available to the public. Everyone's going to have their own opinion on it. I guess the real problem that people have is how the Liberal government just kind of made it a thing, and it wasn't properly voted on, is my understanding. I don't know enough about it to really dig into it, but I think that's what people are saying. I've seen some conservative Facebook groups post pictures of Trudeau dressed as Hitler. It's so fucking ridiculous. Get off, get your head out of your ass, God. Like, what do you need an automatic weapon for? If you're a big time game hunter or something like that, be a man. Use a bow or something, or use a like a proper gun, and don't be a wuss and go out there and need something that's automatic because you have a bad shot. Get out of here. And if you're part of gun clubs or whatever, you find something else to shoot. Who the hell cares? Get your head out of your asses. But hey, that's just my opinion, right? The next thing to go is probably going to be your handgun. So if you ever want to own a handgun, get it now. You might be able to use it for 2 years, and then it's out of here. Yeah, again, I have the same opinion. I don't own any guns. I've thought about maybe getting some for going hunting, but I don't know. I kind of feel bad going hunting, shooting animals. So that's just me, and everyone's different. I guess if there was like overpopulation or something like that, maybe I'd consider it. That is the case sometimes with deer. Let me tell you, I've driven through the States in like end of October, early November, and I went almost coast to coast, and I spotted well over 100 dead deer on the side of the road. So, I mean, there's different problems. They don't have proper crossing paths or anything like that, and a lot of states don't have border walls or like, I guess, like guards on the highway until you get to, I want to say Montana, when you're going sort of east to west. Anyways, regardless, sometimes there's a need for hunting. People like it, so I get it. I like to fish, so I mean, I guess I'm in a similar boat there. Although I like to catch and release as much as possible. But, it is what it is. Everyone's going to have a hobby, but I don't think it's really necessary to have something that powerful. But I guess one of the big problems is the criticism from sort of the right wing is well, why don't you just focus on gangbangers and crime? They're the ones that brought this up. They've never in history had a report of someone going on a rampage who was a registered gun owner or anything like that. They always got them illegally. So there's truth to that. Maybe I haven't looked into it, so I don't really know. But at the end of the day, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect most Canadians. Just the subset of people that are really into their ammunition, their guns, and that sort of thing. I mean, there's one like sob story going around. This gun owner or this shop owner going to be out all this money and stuff. Like, you deal guns. What do you want? I'm not going to pity you. If everyone stopped playing hockey tomorrow, what am I going to do about the guy who owns the hockey store? It is what it is. Adapt, and I'm sure you'll find a product that people will like, and it'll be in demand, and you'll get the money back for the guns you bought. So it is what it is. That's my rant for today. Hope everyone has a good week, and remember to stay the fuck home as much as possible. And subscribe to my show or my podcast or my channel, whatever, and we'll have some good times together.